Good afternoon and welcome to the People's Voice on VOP Television, where we amplify the concerns, stories, perspectives, and voices of the Nigerian citizens while discussing issues of interest to the people. And today, it's something beyond just interest, but a major concern. My name is Adefunke Jaisimi, and something disturbing in the heart of Nigeria. One of the states is bleeding again, and that's Niger State. Once a symbol of resilience and hope, it is now a hotbed of insecurity, displacement, and humanitarian crisis. The recent bandit attack on a military camp near Bangi, Mariga local government area has left 20 soldiers dead, and the echoes of gunfire still lingers in the air and also in the heart of the people. The floodwaters that ravaged Mokwa local government area have claimed over 200 lives, with more than 700 people still missing. And the cries of the affected communities continue to fall on deaf ears as the security situation in Niger State continues to deteriorate. Residents are facing unprecedented challenges. The bandit attacks, kidnappings, and cattle rustling have become a norm, and pain is significantly a key player in the livelihood of the people around, leaving many wondering if the state is losing its battle against terrorism. The bandit attack on the military camp near Bangi has sparked renewed fear over the deteriorating security situation in the region. The Nigerian Army's silence on the incident has only added to the anxiety as residents wonder if the military is equipped to handle the growing threat of terrorism in the state. So, here's a bit of breakdown. Bandit attack, which has taken about 20 soldiers' lives, that happened yesterday, and several others injured. The military has launched a manhunt for the perpetrators, but the fear of future attacks lingers as the people, the fear is just unimaginable. On part of community impact, yes, the residents in the affected areas are beginning to flee due to the fear of further attacks, exacerbating the existing displacement crisis in the state. And the once thriving communities are now empty, a testament to the devastating impact of insecurity in our nation, Nigeria. And because this is very important to us on People's Voice, we are at the forefront of matters affecting the people directly. There's also the part of health and humanitarian crisis within the same Niger State. Talk about the recent flood disaster in Mokwa local government area that added to the state's woes, displacing thousands and leaving hundreds of people missing. The people have not recovered. Nigerians have not recovered. That's one story that would not leave our minds anytime soon. But the government's response to this disaster has been swift, according to reports, but the road to recovery will be long, and this is what is a major concern for Nigerians. The flood disaster, it claimed over 200 lives, like I said earlier. Over 700 people are still missing, families disconnected, and this disaster actually displaced over 3,000 households and destroyed 283 homes and 50 business places. Yes, on the part of the government, the responder, the presidency released 2 billion naira and 20 trucks of rice for the flood victims, while the state government has thanked individuals and organizations for support. There's been a lot of support, there's been a lot of responses. 2 billion naira from the federal government. Organizations, personalities, and businesses have also supported the government. But one will also wonder how many people actually live in these communities if there is a true support of 2 billion naira. Then what does it take for people to be relocated rather than staying in IDPs and continue to cry of hunger? Well, there's so much to talk about today, but we'll keep you updated on this story because we're going to be diving right into this conversation. But in another related incident, terrorists stormed Tofa village in Zamfara State, killing over 15 residents, and the community has also been devastated by repeated bandit attacks, and most residents have also abandoned their homes. The question is still the same. Will the government be able to stem the tide of violence and restore peace to the region? From Benue to Plateau to Taraba to Zamfara to the southeast to the southwest to basically every part of Nigeria needs serious attention when it comes to security. So where do we go from here? Well, let's go on a quick break. When we return, we'll talk more about these stories. Please stay with us.
extraordinary. Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
A devastating bandit attack occurred in Mariga local government area of Niger State, leaving about 20 Nigerian soldiers dead. The incident happened yesterday, Tuesday, June 24, 2025, when over 200 heavily armed bandits visited or invaded two military camps within Kwanan Duse and Gobin Boka local government areas. The bandits launched a surprise assault on the military camp at Kwanan Duse, engaging soldiers in a fierce 4-hour gun battle, 4 hours straight. Despite the military's response, the bandits outnumbered the soldiers and surrounded the camp, firing from different directions, according to reports. And after dealing a heavy blow to the military, the bandits moved to another camp at Gobin Boka, where they engaged soldiers in another gun battle. The first location was 4 hours straight, according to community people, according to eyewitness. It was a fire for 4 hours straight. And moving away from there, they still went to another community within the same state, Gobim Boka, and engaged another set of soldiers in another gun battles. This attack actually resulted in the death of about 20 soldiers, with several others injured. And the bandits also suffered casualties, but their exact numbers couldn't be ascertained because they said they don't leave their casualties, they don't leave their persons. Whether you harm one of them or kill any of them, they tend to live with all of their members. But the bandits also looted shops in Gobin Boka local government and made off with cattle from neighboring communities. This also leaves questions around, to what end? After attacking the military camp, after killing military men, you still went ahead to loot people's businesses. So what exactly is the reason for this crime? Talk about response and investigation. The chairman of Mariga Local Government Council area alerted the military high command, which responded promptly. However, the report says that the bandits had already escaped due to bad roads and difficult terrain before something could be done. And vigilantes and security operatives are still searching for the attackers. On their part, the Nigerian army has not yet issued an official statement on this incident. And this has left a lot of people with questions around security concerns. This incident has raised concerns about the worsening security situation in Niger State. The region has been plagued by banditry and insurgent activities, with frequent attacks on civilians and security personnel. And this attack highlights the need for sustained military presence and intelligence operations to address the growing threat of banditry in the region. This is a very complicated issue and sensitive one at that. The military has not responded or made any statements following this incident, but yes, this event happened yesterday. It's been reported. People's properties are being looted. People's businesses were looted, and a lot of people are being displaced too for the fear of a comeback on the same attack. But this is not a conversation to have alone. It's never alone where it's never alone on the People's Voice. So now I'm being joined by Mr. Simon Reef Musa. He is a Nigerian journalist and writer who has contributed to various publications, including the Leadership newspaper and Premium Times Nigeria. His works focuses on politics, governance, and social issues. Mr. Simon Reef Musa's expertise lies in his ability to dissect political and social issues as it affects the people, offering readers and, of course, viewers valuable insights into Nigeria's development challenges. Overall, He is a respected voice in Nigeria journalism, known for his thoughtful commentary on national issues. Good afternoon, Mr. Sim.
Yeah, good afternoon, Adefunke. Good to join you.
Many thanks for joining us on the show. I appreciate it. I mean, we've been trying to have this conversation for a long time, but it's always a good day to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
All right, so let's start with security concerns in the nation, Mr. Musa, because this is quite heartbreaking. The events taking the lives of people, ravaging communities, destroying the people, separating families is becoming a norm in our nation. But how can the Nigerian military improve its response to bandit attacks in Niger State, considering the recent assault that left 20 soldiers dead?
Yeah, thank you very much, Adefunke. And I think taking into consideration what the present administration did when it came on board in 2023, you understand that when it rejigged the architecture, the security architecture by bringing in new security chiefs, things seems to have taken a turn for a renewed hope that very soon Nigeria will experience peace and security. The first year had been going up and down. They've been trying to do what they could. There are some local governments in Borno that were under the Boko Haram insurgency. In the last, I think, between 2023 and 2024, everything was done around to ensure they get those local governments back. But again, in the midterm report of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we are looking at the situation where insurgency is coming back. People are being killed, and you get to wonder, why should citizens of a nation be killed without government doing something about it? Yes, of course. We saw that in the last 8 years of the Buhari administration, where so much happened. People were being killed and nothing happened. Even if there was anything that was happening, there was not much to save the people. You ask yourself, why should a government simply sit down and look at its citizen being mauled down by foreign mercenary, foreign terrorists in the name of herdsmen? This is not the first time we are having Fulani people. We've had them for over a century. We've lived with them. I particularly come from the southern part of Kaduna State, the north central states, of course, where there are so many Fulani. So why this spike in insecurity? We have also noticed that, I think it was Buraje who said in 2014, bandits were being recruited to make the state ungovernable if Jonathan Goodluck does not succumb, does not leave power, if Jonathan Goodluck doesn't allow Buhari, the APC, to win. And of course he won, and we saw what we saw. So insecurity has now become a part and parcel of the Nigerian experience, because where Nigerians continue to experience insurgency, thousands killed, and nothing much has been done to ensure that the security and safety of lives and property is enhanced, and then it is very tragic. Obviously. It is very, very tragic. Absolutely. But then, I wish to say here very quickly that the Tinubu administration has tried within the available capacity it has, because security is a collective responsibility. It's not only the responsibility of the military; it's not the responsibility of the Air Force. We have intelligence sharing. What has happened to the intelligence sharing mechanism? How far has been the interagency collaboration of security agencies in Nigeria? How far has it gone to ensure the safety of lives and property? While you ask this question, can Nigerians be saved from this insurgent? Let me tell you, T.Y. Danjuma in 2018 said that Nigeria should rise up and defend themselves against terror gangs that are just out there to finish them. Right. And they are doing this in collaboration with the security agency, rogue elements of the security agencies. So there was a lot of hate where people were saying, no, you're calling for anarchy, you're calling for this. So is it now easy for you to allowed your citizens, defenseless citizens, to be killed by terrorists that your military force cannot do anything against. And of course, you cannot remove the idea of politics in it.
All right.
Politics was the major thing that brought in banditry, whether you like it or not. We've seen it, because it has always been something that people will use to abuse the incumbent that they have not done what they ought to do.
Exactly.
And that is quite unfortunate. That's quite unfortunate.
But SRM,
yeah.
SRM, I would like to take you on that part of your conversation where you said that even though this present administration has done enough, but I mean, talk can be very cheap. It's not enough to be strategic. It's not enough to have so many plans on what to do while this insecurity continues to persist. We saw the massacre in Benue State, that yellow water precisely, that left over 200 persons dead and properties destroyed. Just over the weekend, we also saw an hijack where a full bus that was en route from Abeokuta to Makurdi was hijacked in the same Benue State. And you will continue to wonder, if the government is doing so much, how then, I mean, what makes it so difficult for these herdsmen, terrorists, bandits to be, I mean, attacked and put an end to all of this? I mean, a little bit of reduction will be significant enough for people to know that, okay, we are progressing. With all this happening now, a military barrack, not one, two, was attacked in the same day. And that's a major concern. That's why people are fleeing from their homes. Because if military barracks can be attacked, yes, they said that it was a fire for fire event, but 20 personnel of the military men were said to have been killed. What exactly can be done to improve the response of the military to banditry attacks?
Government is doing so much in the wrong direction.
Okay.
Yes, I would say that because, one, you have to democratize security matters in the country. What I mean by democratization is that you have to involve the people. If you don't involve the people, nothing happens. Because see, let me tell you, we live in an evil country. Our system is so evil that because of money, we can set several communities on fire just to make sure we make money. You see, when you have a nation that has enthroned materialism as the basic essence of being in power, then I think you have what you have. But what I'm saying is that if the military continues with what they are doing, and I can also tell you there are rogue elements in the military, because even when you go to Niger, you go to Benue, there were even reports by the DSS that, oh, this Benue, this Makurdi killings, the DSS has report, and they sent across words to the military on what to do. What was done? Nothing was done. So the whole thing is that we have rogue elements. The only answer in securing this country is to involve besieged communities. And the DSS has even come out rightly on that issue. It came out with what we call community policing. Right. Community policing means you let the community provide first line of defense. The military does not have enough boots on the ground. If we depend on the military to secure the lives and property of Nigeria, it is impossible. We can't have that, whether we like it or not. So it is the people that must take it upon themselves to provide security for their communities. And the guidelines for the commencement of community policing is very clear. Go to communities that are under siege, profile the people that you think could bear arms, train them, make those arms available for them, and then when they are attacked, what happens? They provide the first line of defense and reach out to the security forces that will later come. But as we speak now, communities are left on their own, without arms, without protection. And these vandals, these brigands, they know that all of the communities are armless. They don't have arms. So they simply go in there and kill whoever they can kill. And nothing is done. So what we hear is the next 1 week, we'll be making commentaries, we'll be making analysis, and a lot of things will be happening, and nothing happens. Do you understand? It's just noise and noise and noise without direction. And when you look at it, when I say they are doing it in the wrong direction, why do you need 49 jets in this country as at now? How much billions of dollars are you buying? How many millions of dollars are you buying to budget for those jets? Are you at war with another country? No. What you need is internal intelligence to be able to curtail the devastating effect of these vandals. They are out to destroy Nigeria. They are out to make sure that bloodshed continue to flow. And let me tell you, what efforts they do, whatever effort, if it is Tinubu today, if it is Tinubu tomorrow, if the system is not changed to checkmate the activities of insecurity, it will still continue. We saw it in Jonathan. We were all praying that, Jonathan is a problem, he cannot do this. Buhari came for 8 years. What did he do? Even as a general in the army, he did nothing. The only thing I knew he did was to go to Sokoto or Zamfara, wore one military uniform, made some noise, made some declaration, and nothing happened thereafter. So all we need is for the people. You have to democratize security. Right. The military is does not have the capacity to combat all the forests, everything about that is happening in Nigeria. They are not spirits. They are not spirits. They need people that will share intelligence. They need people that will hold forth. They need people that will provide a first line of defense when these terror gangs attack. So, but we don't want it, because why? Some people are out to just simply make money. If insecurity stops today, some people will not be happy. They will not be happy because they are getting billions and billions of dollars or naira, and they don't want that to stop. And they are doing it on the blood of Nigerians.
That's quite unfortunate. That's a terrible place for a nation to be in. I totally understand you, because, I mean, it's really, really bad enough that we have this crisis. We have a lot of intelligence personnel in this country, analysts, I mean, professionals come out with ideas and thoughts on how we can move away from this situation, but it just seems like it's a system problem. And I think your point around relating the stories from both Jonathan to Buhari to Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a testament to the fact that this is more of a system problem and needs to be dealt with accordingly. But let's talk about humanitarian crisis, sir. What measures can be taken to address the growing humanitarian needs in Niger State, where over 1.5 million children require assistance due to malnutrition and other crises? Looking at the fact that the president actually invested as much as 2 billion naira support to Niger State over the flood incident that happened, and it's been reported that a lot of organizations also gave monies and support. One would ordinarily ask that, what was the lifestyle of the people at the end of the day before these things happened? We have a lot of children there. What can be done?
See, I wish I would not say what I want to say. People take advantage of the tragedy of our people to make money for themselves. If I tell you I live in Abuja, I witnessed certain things that happened during the COVID era. There was this particular man, a very top man that I know, who was finding it very, very difficult to even live life. But when it came and money was made available, if I tell you that he bought a house just within 2 weeks of his appointment to the COVID committee, wow, you will know that people take advantage of the tragedy of their people to advance their own economic interests. That is just it. Yes, we've seen what is happening in Mokwa. And the whole thing is that every year, things like that happen. They happen every year. You ask yourself, why is it that government cannot set up proper machinery in place to ensure that we don't have this humanitarian devastation? They don't want to do that because why? Because they simply want it to be recurring. And that is why NEMA, when you talk of the National Emergency Management Agency, you ask yourself, what are they doing? They are to prevent humanitarian disaster, not to wait until it happens before they now announce contract for the purchase of mattress, contract for the purchase of food, foodstuff, stove, kerosene, and what have you. No. You will continue to have that because the Nigerian system is an evil system. It preys on the poor to make sure that anybody who has an opportunity, he ensures that he makes every place he gets as an oil block for himself. We will continue to have that because one, flooding will continue. In Abuja, flooding will continue every year. In most of the state, every year, 6 months before, the people who do the prediction tell you so states are prone to flooding. Now, what do government do to prevent that? No, they simply sit down because they know a budget has been appropriated for NEMA. They need to spend that money. If they don't spend that money, it will be returned back to the government coffers. So all what they do is that they allow it to happen so that they can now take care through contractocracy. Give out contract to their ally, give it to their front, make money, and wait for the next year for another humanitarian disaster to happen. So it's normal. You need to change the Nigerian system. Unfortunately, the Nigerian people have outsourced democracy to the ruling elite, to the politicians. Because one, they simply believe that there's nothing they can do to change the system. The politicians are aware. Members of the National Assembly sit down, gather watchers, get the watchers to fight the next election. They will get money, they'll go for contract inflation, they'll go for budget padding, because the man who succeeds at the poll is the man who has deep pockets. So when you have that, you have a problem. So this thing, insecurity, flooding, and what have you, will continue because the Nigerian system is prone to the promotion of dishonesty. We run a system that does not reward honesty. We run a system that embraces dishonesty, where Nigerians love corruption. All these noises against corruption, who told you that? Nigerians love corruption. You understand? It's only you and I that are not close to the powers that say, they will just be making noise. But some of us that will also be there tomorrow. I said, tomorrow you go there and say, do something before your time.
Exactly.
So there's
that mentality. Yeah.
There is this deep conspiracy to make Nigeria fail. The conspiracy is involving all Nigerians. And that is why today I was asked, Muslim ticket. And that. I said, politicians are for selfish interests. Whether it's Muslim ticket, whether it's pastor ticket, whether it's imam ticket, when they get there, they take care of themselves first. And when they are sharing the money, they don't want to know whether you are Yoruba, you are Hausa, you are Fulani, you are Igbo. No. They enjoy a lot. And that is why there is a place I go somewhere in Abuja, I see all the big people come there, so many tribes. Talk about businesses. Millions, billions, and they say about it. So what are you telling me? The issue is that the Nigerian system is evil. And except we change that system, it will not work. Our orientation has made it practically impossible to develop Nigeria.
All right. Thank you very much for that response, SRM. But I mean, this wickedness in the heart of the people, this conspiracy to make the system fail to enrich some particular people, has continued to impoverish the majority of the Nigerian people. And I want us to talk about food insecurity right now, because if maybe people within the corridors of power continue to make money as a result of the misfortune of the people who talk about flood, talk about security challenges, then what happens to the business of, the food business? How will, still talking about Niger State, how do you think this flood affecting over 1.51 million people in Niger State will impact food security in that region and Nigeria at large, particularly with crop losses estimated around 23,000 hectares of land, according to reports after that flood? We know what is happening in Plateau State, we know what is happening in Benue State, and now Niger State. This is a major threat to our security when it comes to food in Nigeria. What's the way to go?
Well, Benue State is a food basket of Nigeria. But now it has been turned into a killing field, where most of the communities have been turned into IDP camps because of the activities of banditry. Niger State, of course, has a lot of potential. I think the governor now takes the sobriquet of farmer governor. Yes. He has to tell you of the potentials of agri in Niger State. And if you look at it, these are places where banditry and other criminal elements are running riots.
Yes.
Go to Plateau too. They are not secure, they are not safe. So definitely food security, food security is under threat.
Yes.
The North as a region is under threat. Is under threat of these bandits, of these vandals. And those who should speak, those who should be worried, those who should call people to order and say, hey, let's not go this way. What are they doing? The politicians are simply waiting for 2027. All they are thinking is, who do we endorse? They are screaming, oh, we need a coalition. Tinubu is making Nigeria to suffer. He's inflicting pains on the populace. The policy, they are telling us English that they learned from Harvard and Oxford, which we know they are on footspring. What did they perform when they were in the corridors of power? When they were in power, they are now saying that all they need is a coalition. I will tell you this: America will not come to Nigeria to save Nigeria. It is we Nigerians that will rise up and save ourselves. Nigeria has the potential to do whatever it can to ensure that we come out a stronger nation and a developed nation. As at now, we are the laughingstock of international community. Despite our abundant blessing, divine blessings of oil, crude, we have all solid minerals. What does that turn out to be? It is simply a disaster. And then we are only allowing the politicians to take the commanding lead of throwing us down into the bottomless pit of hopelessness and despair. So I think the food security issue is an issue that must be tackled. But let me tell you, Nigeria can survive anywhere and anyhow. What is killing this country is ethnicity, is religion, is ethnicity and religion. If we can do away with those two factors, I can tell you it will take us just 1 year, we will roll back. But because the political elite, most of them are simply out there to steal from the public purse. Those that are very sincere are so insignificant that they won't make a difference. And that is why when they even go there, they will ask, they say, well, there's nothing we can do. So if we cannot beat them, join them. So that is the issue I don't get that we are experiencing in this country. We have so much potential. So what Nigerians now see, most people that are in government, I say most, not all, when they get there, what do I do for my family? What do I do for myself? First thing is to relocate your family to Canada, UK, USA, and make sure that they are safe. Well, you turn Nigeria into a farmhouse where you get the money and send the money abroad for safekeeping. Because even if you are dead from bandits, you know that your family is secure. And that's why some people say they don't even see any future in this country. Now, when you see our leaders, ask them, how many of them have their children schooling in Nigeria? How many?
A lot of them actually have their families outside Nigeria. And like you said, even for counselors, as little as counselors, that's the first thing to do.
Yes, as even as counselors, everybody is looking for money. All these budgetary things we hear, they are being budget of this, budget of that. When it comes out, the money simply disappears into private pockets. People continue to blame Tinubu. What about the various governors in their state? What are they doing? You have to ask questions. When you say Nigerians are suffering, and it is the policy of Tinubu, yes, Tinubu policies have led to the removal of subsidies. What has happened is that governors now have so much money. They have so much money they can use. They have so much money they can do certain things about, and they can also help themselves. So we now ask the question: where are they spending those money? Where are those money going?
That's a valid
question.
That's a valid question. I want to. Sorry, I want us to talk about the climate change. What strategies can be implemented to mitigate the effects of climate change on communities in Niger State who are increasingly vulnerable to floods and droughts? Because you said in your earlier submission that these things are not new. It's something that happens every year. These reports, intelligence keep coming out at the beginning of the year, sent across states. But it seems like there's no preparation. The government within the states are always waiting for these things to happen and, I mean, get support from wherever they can get. But what better strategies can be implemented to mitigate the effect of these changes, climate change, on communities, particularly the people who are the receiving end?
Well, I think I'm happy that the former governor of Niger State has applied for a 10 million World Bank loan. The essence of the bank is to curtail factors that contribute to flooding. Let me tell you a very personal experience. I come from the southern part of Kaduna State, and I bear the brunt of being a victim of the Nigerian political system, where you try to restrict, where you try to conscript ethnic minorities into dots that will make sure they don't even effectively survive. So there was this thing that happened. In my area, they came and seized, because I said they seized 73,000 hectares of land. Can you imagine the size of 73,000 hectares of land? I don't think.
I'm with you. I'm just trying to picture it in my head. That's a lot. 73,000 hectares.
73,000. It was formerly 43,000, 34,000, because that was turned into a grazing reserve by the First Republic, by the Premier of the North. But when they were going to pay for the compensation, they said, they don't have the money, so let's reduce it to 34,000. Later, in the future, we'll transmit that to see if we can see to upgrade it. Now, under the Erufai administration, they upgraded it to 73,000, 74,000 hectares. And not even a single dime was given to any of our people. As I speak with you now, our people have to pay money to Fulani to farm on their ancestral land.
So who received the money, sir? Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Who received the money? If the monies were paid?
Money was not given. Money wasn't given.
Oh, okay.
There was no money that was given. No money was given to anybody. Do you understand? As a journalist, I asked questions some 5 years ago. I said, how did you get this land from our people? They said, no, that our people gave it out. That they can't pay any dime to anybody. Now, the greatest injustice in the nation is when government use laws, an unjust law, to oppress a people within that political entity.
Right.
When you use law to enthrone injustice, that's an evil system that needs to be uprooted. And you'll be shocked to know that the people that are even living in that place now are not the Nigerian herdsmen that we know. They are herdsmen from every other country that are there. And our own herdsmen have even run away from that very grazing reserve. They are now living with our people. So they are not even, when you ask them, why are you staying where? They say, no, these are not our people, we don't even know them. And all these issues have not been tackled. All these issues remain germane. That government has refused to see what they can do with it. So what I'm telling you is that at a certain point, they went, all the trees that were in that forest, they cut them out as firewood. They were exporting it to Niger, Cameroon, Chad, and almost desertified. They turned that place into a desert. I wrote a column to call attention of government to it. Nothing was done. But meanwhile, the same government are telling you they are spending millions upon millions to do tree planting. So if you are planting in the far north, why are you also making this, cutting them down and turning this place into deserts?
Right.
You ask yourself, and the government is aware, they are aware of the perpetrators, and they seem very helpless and have refused to do anything.
Okay.
So when you come to desertification, when you come to flooding, it will continue. It is a way where they also make their money.
All right.
They are not doing that for any seed. I don't forget the system in Nigeria, wherever you are, make a way of turning it into your oil block. If you are a teacher, how do you get money? So think inward. If today you are made this, think inward. That is what this country is all about. I spoke with somebody in the UK. He would tell me, Simon, what are you wasting your time there for? I said, as old as I, what am I wasting? Nigeria is my only place. He said, no, come back. I'm in the UK. I'm 60, but you are just, this is not a place to be. And it is the truth, whether you like it or not.
It's quite
I mean,
sad.
I have told myself I will live in Nigeria, but the truth of the matter is that is the system changing?
Well,
Do we have a National Assembly that is committed to changing the Nigerian system? They are not there. They are not there. Let's say the truth. The truth is that we are just trapped in a hopeless pit hole.
wow.
And it will
Let
only
me
take God.
let me
It will
take
only
it
take
from
God.
there,
It will
SRM.
take God. It will take God for us to emerge from the situation that we find ourselves.
It's quite unfortunate because so much has been said, and this is not the first time this conversation are happening, but little or
Yes.
nothing is being done. But let's talk about the people, which is our own priority on the people's voice. Let's talk about community resilience. How can local communities in Niger State be empowered to build resilience against future crises, including floods and bandit attack? Because someone just said to me that Niger State was taken out of Abuja, and that if they really wanted reinforcement, it wouldn't even take up to an hour to get reinforcement from Abuja to Niger State. So what you said about the system and internal wrangling, yes, there are speculations, and if you add one and two together, it seems like something is totally wrong with our system. But priority is the people. What can be done? How can these local communities, the people, how can they be empowered to build resilience, to protect themselves, and to take charge and make sure that this doesn't happen in the future? Talk about both the floods and the bandit attacks that is gradually rendering the whole community maybe to a desert.
Well, Adefunke, I wish I can tell you something that will bring happiness to you and to Nigerians. The truth is that empowering
Okay.
communities, killing them, and nothing is done.
Okay.
They don't want anything for empowerment. Now, I was in Vienna in 2018, and I asked one or two questions. Don't they have people that cannot be helped? They say, no, they have them somewhere. When it is cold, it is snow time, government sit down, appropriate money, and make sure they are taken care of. In Nigeria, you appropriated so much money for humanitarian crisis. The question you ask, are those funds, do those funds get to the people? No. Somebody somewhere will simply get the money and put it in a bank account and disappear. As I speak with you now, there is a policy in government that on the 31st, if money are not spent, they should be taken back to the public covers, to the public treasury. Why? What happens in Abuja? Most of those agencies sit down, share the money by just sharing them in contract, getting an auditor to find the final listing, external, internal, everybody gets his own share, and the money is split, and nobody complains because everybody is made happy. So when you're talking
Everybody gets
about
their shares.
making communities, the Nigerian system, yes, see, Nigeria was built on people that are in power making the best use of their position. I remember I was a very young man, very secondary school boy, in secondary school then. Somebody said, if you cannot build the country, go and build your house. By building your house, you are also helping to build the country. So, so,
So the
so
focus is
that
not the
has
nation.
persistently. See, anybody telling you at the front that this country that the focus is for development. Yes, we are not saying that people are not doing their best. I will tell you, I come from a place where I will always be grateful for the Muslim ticket. I'm a Christian, but this Muslim ticket has favored my people. How? For the first time in the history of Nigeria, our zone was given a federal university. We've never had any federal establishment like that. Even before the National Assembly signed the bill, President Tinubu said, I will give you guys university. And he gave us. We never had any federal medical center. He gave it to us, even without the National Assembly signing the bill. During Buhari time, what happened? Nothing. We were just abandoned. As if we were not a part of Nigeria. My people, that is where you have the best ginger in the world. Now, Anchor Borrowers Program, where you are spending over 1 trillion, what came to them? Nothing. So, that is just it. I'm telling you this, it could be minute. People say, why are you talking? Talk about Nigeria. What about Nigeria? See, I don't think this Nigeria, when you see something, you have to also look into the mirror and see if in any way you have benefited. If in any way your people have benefited.
Okay, so before you say something, you have to first go back home and check whether you benefited.
Of course. Do you understand? But that is not to tell you that I'm happy with the policies of the president. There are certain places I have come out clearly to say when you deal with the corruption in the subsidy regime, you can fix this country right. But you remove the subsidy, you give most of the money to governors, they are holding the money, and they are doing nothing for the people.
So are the people not expected to hold the governors accountable?
Which people now are different? Are you not a Nigerian?
I totally understand because yes, we are always particular about the president.
Exactly. Are you a stranger in Jerusalem?
But can't these things change? If the governors are getting more money,
it cannot change. It cannot change. Because those who benefit from the system will not want the system to change. And we are so much divided along ethnic, religious, and whatsoever class that we cannot come together.
Okay.
That is the truth.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Simon Reeve Musa, known as SRM. And it's been a great delight talking to you. It's been, we've learned so much from you. I'm sure the viewers have so much to add to whatever knowledge they have about the Nigerian system and what is happening in Niger State at the moment. I hope that I'll call you again.
Available, even though I'm back to school.
Okay.
I did my master's some 25 years ago. I said, let me go and do a PhD to top it.
Okay.
So I think I need to top it. So that is what when you called me the other time, I said, no, I must honor you because you are a journalist.
All right.
I have tremendous respect for journalists.
Thank you so much, sir.
So I want to also air my view and to let you know that my dream is that Nigeria someday will change.
All right, sir.
I'm running towards 60. 60 is running towards me. I always pray that my children will not pass through what I passed through.
Amen.
That's my prayers.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen. Thank you very much, sir. And let's go straight to the end of the conversation today as we conclude this discussion on the recent bandit attack in Niger State. It is clear that the security situation in the region requires urgent attention and comprehensive strategies, and we appreciate the insights shared and perspectives explored during this conversation with Mr. Musa Reeve. It's giving us so much understanding. Understanding of what the situation is, and we can always do better. We'll continue to follow up with these stories. Thank you so much for joining the show today, and we look forward to the continuing dialogue on this issue across all digital platforms. My name is Adefunke Jayesime, and I strongly believe in this project, Nigeria. Nigeria will be great again. Good afternoon.